Hey there YouTube, I have another online battle for you. This one is Rome versus Carthage, and it also, I think, has a point about using a lot of elite units. As you can see, my opponent had quite a few, two of these Lusitani nobles, two Cretan archers, one Balearic slinger. And then he had two noble cav, and I went with my Primarian Rome build, 5 Hastati, 4 Principes, 3 Triarii, 2 Velites, and because I thought he might have elephants, I went with 2 Velites and the Spear Gladiatresses. I was hoping to be able to use those to take down any elephants, but he did not. I've also got 2 these Sakiai Equites Extraordinari and 2 Sakiai Equites. So I really don't like maps like this. We've got this big wooded area and then this huge hill dominated with, as you can see here, several places where there's impassable terrain. And I'm trying to figure out, the map actually extends beyond this ridge, so I'm trying to figure out not only what units my opponent has, but where they are. And I'm also worried about stumbling into anything, so I'm just trying to move up here slowly but surely. I'm going to fast forward through this because this is a lot of simply repositioning and moving and waiting. And when I move my cavalry up here, I finally find his main force, and I see his Balearic slingers and Cretan archers, so I pull back before he can have a chance to do any damage to my cavalry. And so I see that's where he is, so I start just kind of moving up. Okay, we're going to fight in the woods, because I'm expecting with all of that skirmisher fire, that's going to work great for me, because he's not going to be able to get any good shots. And of course, now that I moved over here, my opponent pulls back up the hill. And so I'm like, crap. So I'm trying to figure out a good way to get up this hill, but again, like I said, there's this, I'm thinking about trying to move up through here, but I'm worried that he's going to get a lot of flank fire once I come through here, and then there's this impassable terrain. And I'm trying to figure out a good way to use my cavalry, but again, impassable terrain, and there's scrub and steep hills, and I'm just worried that they're not going to get a good charge. And he does have a couple of these hoplite units nearby. So I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do, and that's when I decide I'm just going to form up my infantry. I have more infantry than he does. I'm just going to try to bull my way up here with the red line and the edge of the map and the terrain and the fact that it looks like he only has 2 cavalry units. He doesn't really have a whole lot of mobility, so I'm hoping that I can just rush in with my infantry, bog him down, and then move in with my cavalry to take out his skirmishers and get some rear charges. So we'll see if that works. Again, here you can see the great effect of some good skirmish fire from uphill, and this is even straight on and into their shielded flank, and they're just dropping. So I decided I'm just going to sacrifice this unit of Hastati so that I can get my infantry up closer, and you can see these guys are just getting shredded. And yeah, he goes into quick reload. Yeah, these guys don't last very long. He's got this mercenary Italian swordsman here to kind of slow me up, take the charge. But Roman units don't really have any charge worth talking about anyway. Yeah, 12 on the Hastati. But it does serve one purpose of getting me bogged down, so then his Libyan infantry and his mercenary noble fighters can come charging in, and he'll get a decent little charge there, and he'll just start cutting through my guys. I'm trying to pick a good spot to use my velites, trying to figure out what to do. I start trying to work a couple of these Principe around his flank over here, and I completely forgot about my Triarii in the back, and I finally start getting them moved up. I go to send my Principes one unit because I see that that mercenary noble fighter is going to tear through that Hastati, so I've got to get that Hastati unit supported, but it's just getting shredded as well. I refocus my velites on those noble fighters. I start pushing up a Triarii because it's going to take him a while to tear through a unit like that. I've got my Principes on these Carthaginian hoplites, and I'm working my Spear Gladiatresses up here. I'm going to use them to take out his noble cav, and once those are pinned, I'm going to try to start working my cav around his flanks. I'm winning this fight, but this fight's taken a long time. And over here, my Saki Equites got caught on his Carthaginian hoplites, and now they're taking Cretan archer fire. So they just get completely destroyed. I've got some wavering units, and I've got this Triarii. I'm going to try to get it before he can pin my cavalry units. You can see here this cav unit kind of gets stuck on this hoplite. There's not really much room, and I'm trying to get him through, but he's now probably spamming attack orders, and you can see I'm just trying to get them around here, but he's getting rear fire into these Principes. He's getting flank fire into my Triarii. I have to do something to get his skirmishers, and he finally breaks through with this mercenary noble fighter here and gets into my skirmishers, but my skirmishers are out of ammo at this point, so I charge them in, put a Triarii on them. And he starts pulling his cavalry unit out here because I've managed to get this cav up here and got it into but he's got me stuck on his general's bodyguard. His skirmisher fire has finally shredded that Principe unit. And at this point, I'm at a loss. It is not looking good for me. He's got skirmishers on the hill, but I end up getting my cav unit free here, but he sacrifices a unit of Cretan archers just to hold him up. He's still got his 2 skirmishers free. I end up having to send my general in here, just trying to hold these guys up to keep them from taking out my cavalry. But finally his cav up there breaks. I start using my rally and raise the banner, just trying to keep my guys in the fight. Finally this units over here start breaking. I try to get in a cav charge, just trying to help out my Triarii, also trying to get some units through here. But at this point his skirmishers have done their work. Excuse me. So at this point it's turned into an infantry fight. I've got his general up here. He's got on my cavalry unit. This is the only cav unit he's got left. 9 guys on that noble cavalry. His Carthaginian hoplites are actually beating my Triarii, but I've got him stuck out here. You can see there's a lot of wavering going on here. This is just a weird blob. I've got some of his units outflanked. He's got some of my units outflanked, and it's just grinding through. You can see this Principe here throwing down some javelins. I really need to get them in here. For some reason, I'm just not. At this point, there's really not a whole lot I know to do. I try to get my general in here. I finally see that infantry unit's not engaged and go to maneuver it. And immediately after I get my general in under decent little charge, I start trying to pull him out because I really don't want to lose my general at this point. Even though Roman units are disciplined, I'm just worried the fight's too even. Yeah, he's got both of his mercenary noble fighters left and 2 Libyan infantry, and this hoplite unit just won't go down. I start trying to line up my cavalry units, just trying to get some charges in here, just hoping to get a waiver, get a couple units to rout. I get a really nice downhill charge here, and immediately the hoplites start to waver. You can see their numbers really start to drop, and then they finally shatter. So now I'm going to set up these cavalry to try to get a nice charge through here and push my Triarii. And now I'm just going to let my general just sit here because I don't want him to get killed. So yeah, I'm just trying to hold on. And I'm just going to try the units. There's this noble fighter here that he does have where I can get a charge on it. So I'm just going to try to kind of cycle a couple of charges here for my 2 cav units, just keep going. And there's not really much else I can do at this point. I've got his units out here kind of pinned in the middle of mine, and they finally break. He's got his mercenary noble fighters, and they take one final charge, and that's finally going to be it from them. Costly victory indeed. But you can see here his units, his cavalry not doing a whole lot, but then again I ended up charging them to engage them. His skirmishers doing very well. His Libyan infantry doing pretty well. His hoplites doing fine. Italian swordsmen actually doing quite well for the situation they ended up in. And then this mercenary noble fighter just beasting, and this one doing quite well. But you can see this is one of the problems with taking a lot of some of these elite units, and you don't have enough men. I mean, you can see I ended up having almost 500 more than him, and he actually you know, killed more of my men than I killed of his, which you don't see that too often and come out with a win. My general actually getting 35 kills. Wow, not bad. These two doing just terrible. This one doing very well. This one doing alright. Velites doing okay. Castati, yeah, just getting chewed up. But my Principes, wow, Spear Gladiatrix is doing very well. And Triarii doing what I needed him to do, just kind of holding the line. Anyway, that's about all I have for today. Good job to my opponent. It was a little annoying, but it was a good fight. I don't know. The sitting on the hill can be kind of frustrating sometimes, but I blame stuff like that more on the map than on players. So anyway, it is what it is. Good match to my opponent. Hope you all enjoyed the video. As with YouTube, usual, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And that's all I have for tonight.